Welcome to another show of Two Sides to Opinion podcast. My guys driving the bus. I got my compadres with me. This time we got all of them, not missing one. We got Mr. Jones and we got Coach Josh. What's up, baby? How y'all doing?
What's up, baby?
Before we get started, go ahead and hit that click like subscribe button. Go ahead to Two Sides to Opinion podcast and join the show so you can get the new episodes and all the new content that we drop. So we had a jam-packed weekend. A lot to talk about. As you guys do know, we do have the participants for the Super Bowl, and we'll jump straight into that topic. Let's get to it. And it begs the question is, the Super Bowl is set. It's the Patriots versus the Seahawks. What has impressed you up until this point? We'll start with you, Coach Josh. What you got, man?
What has impressed me? Clint Kubiak, the offensive coordinator.
Agreed.
We saw it last year when he did it with the Saints. Those first about 5 games, they were rolling, and then everybody just started getting hurt for the Saints, and it was like, okay, well, I ain't got nobody. But the Seattle team has stayed healthy, and they are really productive, man. I mean, yeah, they got a couple injuries, but it's nothing major that I would say. But the play calling, it's really good.
Agreed.
And you can see what happens when Sam Darnold has good play callers. He did it in Minnesota where they executed on offense. Then he came to Seattle, got another good play caller, and man, they rolling, bro, because he executes. Bro, they really dissect those defenses. So I'm really impressed with that part. For my choice on the Super Bowl, money-wise, I'll go with Seattle. But let me tell you something. Huh?
That'll be next week. We'll get to that next week. We're just talking about what's impressive.
No, man. I want to talk about that today because I want to put it on record because y'all always 3 and 4 weeks talk about, I called it. Man, everybody call that, man. Nah, man, I'm just messing with y'all.
Nah, we know.
Yeah.
Man. What about you, Jones? What you got, man? What has impressed you?
So there's a few things. Well, first and foremost, before we even get started, right, me being the resident Browns fan, I know y'all saw the news, and I'm a little upset you didn't do no breaking news, but I'm going to do it for you. Throw your APs up, baby. Throw your APs up. You got Shedeur Sanders, number 12, as a Pro Bowler. 5th round pick. Yeah, I see your face. But this is okay. You can get on the bandwagon next year. You get on the
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm a football fan, bro. I'm not tripping.
Yeah. So when we go 2-0, we'll go ahead and send you a passenger ticket so you can get on the train. But no. So what's really impressed me as far as these two teams go, I believe that the Patriots were 4-13 last year. They went from 0 to hero in only one season. They got the coach right. They got the quarterback right. They drafted well. They brought in some pieces that meshed well. Because we talk about fit, we talk about coaching, we talk about players, right? And sometimes you can have great players that just don't mesh well, right? And then they go somewhere else, and it all kind of falls together, right? Under certain types of leadership. And I think that's kind of what we found within the Patriots organization with Vrabel and Drake May, right? So for him to be second-year starter, right, going to a Super Bowl, it almost feels like he's still a rookie, right? Because when I look at him, I want to say that he's a rookie, with a new head coach that made it to the Super Bowl. But even though he's a second-year player. But what's really more impressive is Sam Darnold, right? Sam Darnold was a first-round draft pick, went to the Jets. Marcus, me and you had conversations before where we said, he was out there seeing ghosts. He said he was seeing ghosts. The Jets thought they were seeing ghosts, right? And they had a new regime come in, and they felt like he wasn't the answer, right? So then, he went from there to the Panthers, from the Panthers to, I want to say, Minnesota, to the 49ers, from the 49ers to Minnesota. And what's even crazier to me is the fact that, we've had conversations about how the NFL is the NFL of right now, right? You don't have time to develop. You got to come in ready-made, winning Super Bowls, right? And I don't know if people like Patrick Mahomes, Drake May, even C.J. Stroud, his rookie year, he came out, he set the league on fire. Jaden Daniels came out, set the league on fire, and then year two it didn't look as good, right? So the NFL doesn't give grace to people, and we see that with Sam Darnold. So and what's crazier is the fact that Kyle Shanahan said that he really wanted Sam Darnold, when he was drafted, ended up getting him and then letting him go. And then of course he went to Minnesota, and he went 13, 14 games with Minnesota,
yeah,
right? And now they have J.J. McCarthy. And 9, because I guess that's two different people.
9 is garbage.
yeah, J.J. McCarthy's okay. 9 is garbage. So now, they let him go instead of keeping. And, you see other organizations like the Brown do stuff like that, right? So they let him go, and now, a year removed, he's in the Super Bowl. So how do all of those other teams feel knowing that they had the quarterback that they needed in their locker room and just let him go, or fail to develop him, right? Or get him the right coaching staff. So, what I'm more impressed with is Sam Darnold. And I know we'll have a Super Bowl talk. And as long as he doesn't throw interceptions, he's going to be good to go.
Got you. I want to first give a shout out to Ashley Marshall, man. If you guys don't know, she's one of our most consistent viewers. She supports us big time. She has her own podcast, which is Black Girl Interrupted podcast, and it's got really big. We're going to have to bring her on one time on the show. She is a huge Saints fan, like real talk. She big time with the Saints fan. So we'll bring her on one time, man. She's one of our most consistent viewers. As you guys saw, she said, "What's up?" She was in here, always supporting us. I'll get to my impression. What impressed me the most is the defenses that are currently in the Super Bowl. Each one of them are different in their own little way, but each of them have been dominant and effective. We saw what the Patriots did against the Texans, where they had C.J. Stroud doing everything but what he's supposed to be doing. He was out there giving out Christmas presents and giving out charity. We saw the Seahawks put a whooping on Brock Purdy and smack around McCaffrey and the 49ers. Those two defenses, along with the Texans defense, have showed me that you can go places if you have the right defense, the right coordinator with that defense. I'm more impressed at how they play hard. They make sure they tackle well. They try to limit your yards after the catch, along with forcing turnovers. So we don't necessarily know what we get out both of the quarterbacks, because like you said, we got one young, and then we got one that's never been at this stage, and all he's ever done has not been successful. And that's what we cognitively look back on, is his not being successful. Which defense can solidify and make sure they turn that game around? We got a couple people in the chat dropping things. Let's see what they say.
Yeah. So on this, Marcus, how many times this season have we been watching football on Sunday and then a team will get down to the 20 to 30 or whatever, and go for it on fourth down. And what's the thing that I say? Take the points. Take the points, and then the game comes down to 3 points or 4 points, right? Like they did with the Seattle game, and now you got to go score a touchdown instead of getting in field goal range. I mean, because we know NFL teams are going to play that prevent defense, and they're going to go down the field quicker than anybody has the entire game, right? 2 or 3 passes, and they're going to be on 30, and then there goes the game right there. So you got to listen. You got to stop outsmarting yourself, right? And you have to do the smart thing and just take the points.
Let me ask you both the question. And I'm just saying hypothetically, because they get the weather report. If you know that the weather is going to change in the fourth quarter like it did, well, in the third going into the fourth, like it did, because those guys have weather predictions there that tell them exactly what the weather's supposed to be. Do you take the points, or do you try to get that touchdown to make it almost insurmountable? I'm asking both of y'all. What at that point are you doing what Sean Payton did, or are you taking the points? And I'm not saying because we saw what it was, hindsight 50-50, but I'm saying at that point, as you, Coach Josh, what are you doing? Are you taking the points?
I'm taking the points.
Are you going?
I mean, mostly everybody has a kicker. What was the field goal? Could have been. What was the yardage on it?
I think it was like a 30-yard field goal. It wasn't.
Yeah. Bro, that should be like ace in the hole, bro. Like,
agreed. But I'm asking you because I wonder if it's him thinking, oh, might be one of the few times we get down there because of the weather, or was it him just being greedy? What do you?
Or him talking about a Vegas, and we ain't talking about the Raiders. Come on, bro.
No, that's definitely a topic. So here's my thing, and games like that, right? And you got blizzard weather and stuff like that. In my opinion, 3 is 7, right?
No, agree.
3 points is like 7 points.
I'm right there with you.
So if and you saw it, right? And that could be the difference in the game because both teams may not score, right? And you might win 3-0. You never know, right? And then you get in those games. So, and here's the thing about those cold weather games, and I know maybe one of you gentlemen said something about it, or I watched it on a video or somewhere this week. But you also have the opportunity for running backs, because normally in games like that, you have one running back that breaks a 60-yard run for a touchdown. You know what I mean? It kind of puts the game away. So, but if that does not happen, right, it's going to be a low-scoring game.
Yeah.
And any points that you can get at that point, listen, you might even want to put an extra kicker on the roster for that game, because I might have you kick that ball. It might be so cold you break your ankle or something, and I got to bring in another guy. But we're gonna take those. We're gonna take the 3.
I mean, was that Sean Payton like?
Yeah, that's him. You don't think so?
Bro, they was kicking field goals. They was kicking field goals. They was kicking field goals with Breeze, man.
Let me say this: it's consistent at how the NFL currently plays now. That's
I could get that though, but Sean Payton is an old school coach, man.
No, agree.
Like, bro, they going for the points. Yep. And you don't have a top tier quarterback. Man, you playing with the backup?
Did he overestimate Stidham's abilities?
Man, y'all don't hear what I said.
If he didn't overestimate his abilities, he takes the points there, right? In my opinion, I think he thought that he had more in Stidham than he had.
If Bo Nix was there, you take the 3 points.
Was this after the touchdown or before the touchdown?
I think it was think it was before, wasn't it?
Yeah, because it was early, right?
Yeah, it was early.
That touchdown was early too. Can't remember.
Yeah.
I have to take a look at that. But if it
to
was,
look at the sequence.
If it was
but
before,
either way it go, man, you take the points. I mean,
yeah.
bro, even if you got Drew Brees back there, bro, you take the points. Like, I mean, man, come on, man. You playing with a backup quarterback, bro. Come on, man.
I agree with you, fellas. Let's move on to the next topic, man. This topic is going to hit home because Coach Josh and I speak about this all the time, and me and him have alter egos on this because I understand what he says, he understands what I says, but he has his spot with it. He says what he says, and that comes to the point. You guys know who Jonathan Kuminga is, right? And he recently went down with a ACL injury. He's on the trading block. He's had a lot of craziness going on in the Warriors organization with him getting paid and him really wanting to get out so he can show exactly who he is and what he can do. And that begs the question that is pretty much what I feel is a biggest topic moving forward is the money worth more than the freedom to call your shot as an athlete? As we can see, Kuminga is now out for the year with the torn ACL. He's probably not going to come back till probably midway during the season next year. And he's probably stuck with Golden State for a little bit longer. He might still be in trade talks, but nobody wants to take a guy that has a torn ACL at that moment. You go back down the road and you look at Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett would have had the ability to go somewhere else, but he stayed with the Cleveland Browns, and they're not winning. You take a look at Deshaun Watson. He signed his huge contract, stayed in Houston. A little bit later, he wanted out, and we saw what happened with that. It's a lot of individuals that are currently taking the money, and I'm asking you guys from your point of view, if you were an athlete, would it be the money or will it be calling your own shot as an athlete? I'll start with you, Jones.
Yeah, when you sent over the question, I thought about it, and most questions, it really depends, right? If you want to win or if it's all about the money. And then I thought about it, right? Just from a legacy perspective, right? As a person, and just taking the NBA out of it, if you're thinking of it like a business owner, right? You want to secure the money first, right? So if anything happens past that, you're good to go regardless. With, being an athlete, your body is the commodity, right? That's the product. So when you are in position to go ahead and get the money, I would say go ahead and secure the money first. And then in the long run, depending on how much of an investment they make in you, that will also give you the ability to make the shots, call the shots. So if they invest a large sum of money in you, right? If you're an all-star, superstar type or a caliber player, that gives you the ability to have some say so within the organization. So, especially with, the way that the NBA is played now, we've seen so many NBA players go down with non-contact injuries. You know what I mean?
Let's take a look at Jonathan Kuminga. Coach Josh, you know this very well. You and I talked about him being over in the Warriors organization. We kept asking the same question: why is this dude not playing? He showed you his ability that he can play. He's young. He's a high flyer. Mm-hmm. What deal was he on? Was he on a 1-year deal? He had just signed a deal.
I thought he signed a team-friendly deal.
Yeah, he did. That's what I'm saying.
But y'all can check and see, though.
Yeah, he signed a deal.
Yeah.
But the thing was,
it was like one of them Austin Reeves type deals.
They did him dirty again, where they just sat him on the bench.
Yeah.
Took him out the rotation. He's mad. He's voicing his opinion. And I understand why he's voicing his opinion, but he took the money. Well, he could have went somewhere else, and he still would have got that bag of money. But it's like,
yeah. So no. I kind of understand what you're asking now. So if the money was still going to be the same, do I stay with the Warriors or do I go to another team? Listen, you go to another team, right? So, I mean, if you watch some of these podcasts with some of these former NBA players, right, depending on where you go and where you wind up, right, where you get drafted, the writing is already on the wall, right? So if they have superstars on the team, that's their team. And it doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter how much work you give them in practice. It doesn't matter how you show up. It really depends on what monies are already invested within players on that team, right? So for somebody like Kuminga, he has to go to another situation, right? Where he goes in and he has a conversation with leadership, like, listen, right?
His contract, I'm gonna give you guys just contract numbers.
Yeah,
he
go ahead.
signed a 2-year extension for $48 million.
Mm-hmm.
He would easily went somewhere else and made $30 to $35 million for longer years, 3, maybe 4.
But was he a restricted free agent?
To a certain extent, yes, he was.
And that's the thing. And when y'all come to me, then I'm gonna kind of break some more stuff down though, because it's different, man. Corporation is a dirty business.
No, agreed. It is. It is.
Yeah. Well, and I think me and Coach are, on, kind of on the same wavelength, right? Because, whatever monies are invested, that's what they're going to roll with, right? And it doesn't matter how good. Matter of fact, I forget which podcast it was and which NBA player it was. I think it was Chambers playing for the Heat, right? Do you remember when he was playing with Dwayne Wade and LeBron and all them folks? Mario Chalmers, right? And he was going off, right? And we was like, okay, they got one. And then, I think he shot a jump shot and airball or whatever. And then that's when they ran in. It was like, yeah, and they was like, hey, we got Dwayne Wade over here. We got LeBron.
No. That was the boy from Duke.
No. So
Mario Chalmers.
Yeah, it was Mario Chalmers.
No, the boy from Duke told a story about how he was going off. I know which story you're talking about.
Yeah,
who? Bro, man, what was the little guard name that they drafted? And he wasn't from Duke. Bro, man, what was the little guard name? Like, it wasn't Chalmers, but it was another one. And the dude was like, man, I'm going off. I'm shooting. But then he had missed. And they was like, hey.
DJ Augustine.
No. DJ Augustine never played with them.
No, but I'm saying I think it was DJ Augustine telling that story.
Yeah, whoever it was.
Magic.
Yeah, but whoever it was telling the story, we already know what they were talking about, right? But he was going off, right? And then he missed that shot, right? Because they was letting him shoot until he missed that shot, and they was like, okay.
They set him up for the okie doke.
It's enough of that, right? So, I mean, he was one of the lucky ones, because, sometimes you go out there, you shoot you a shot, right? Out of rotation, out of the system. Even if you hit, they're like, hey, listen, don't shoot that again.
Yeah.
Right. As a matter of fact, they talk about Bam Adebayo, and they say, he's Wemby-esque, but they won't let him do that in the game. You're going to do what we ask you to do, right? And the money that we brought you in here for, this is what we're paying you to do, and that's what we need you to do, and we got other people to do that, right? So, and he was not going to be able to do that with the Warriors. So for him in that situation, it would have been best for him, maybe to take a little less money for long-term gain in the long run to be able to showcase his talents.
Gotcha. Right before we go to Coach Josh, if you guys in the chat, what you think is more important? Is it the money or being able to call your own shot? Let us know. Coach Josh, go ahead. Give us that input, man.
So let's start with Golden State and Steve Kerr. I like Steve Kerr as a person. I think he's a horrible coach.
Agreed.
And I'm gonna just get that out of there. And it's because he doesn't want to change. Let's remember when he took over the Warriors, he played all the people that they said that Mark Jackson didn't want to play. So he kind of changed things up and let people do what they do. I'm trying to figure out why he doesn't like Kuminga. Because he's a basketball player. that turned into a coach. They like ball players, bro. They like ball players, period. If you can help me win, let's go win. And people saying, but he don't fit the system. But but Steve Kerr got to understand. Curry is the system, and everybody plays their own game around him. Then when it's time to get him the ball, yep, I understand. They run plays for him. But Kuminga, you don't have to run 1,000 plays for him, but he does need to be on the floor. And also, man, this is a business. And sometimes, man, we just look at what's inside that court, right? These people purposely tanked his trade value. So you don't really want him, but you don't want nobody else to have him?
Yes.
Like, what was the other boy they had at number 2, bro? Man, they did the same thing to him. The Wiseman kid. Remember the tall kid they drafted number 2 up a couple years back?
Well, it's been a couple guys like that. It's been Wiseman, and it's been what's the other dude that went to Duke? I can't think of his name. He played. I want to say he plays for the Wizards now. He's their starting center.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. He used to play for Sacramento.
Oh man, it's gonna come to me.
Yeah,
but it's so crazy though, because man, we look at it and it's like, oh well, Kuminga, you didn't have to take the money. But I'm gonna say this, man, this is a business, and this is why people not understanding. You can't lowball the salaries, because now that brings the value up of the pie down. So like that stuff that San Antonio was doing a while back, while all them boys were taking pay cuts and stuff, that was bringing the salaries down, bro. Like, I understand for the future, and it's a business, that you have to take those big salaries. So sometimes you may be stuck in Timbuktu for 4 years. Hey, but you got 160 million though. But that also helps for the future of the NBA, because we talked about legacy. Plus, man, you got to take that money sometimes just for your family, bro. But do you know what $160 million would do for us?
The same thing $100 million would do.
Well, Odell Beckham said that wasn't enough.
Well, that's because they take the money and live a different lifestyle.
Bro, man, that dude was doing too much. He needs security. Yeah, man, when you got them bills, it's gonna start to add up, bro. Yep, then you not in the league. Then you not in the league no more. Then that money not coming in every week. Yeah. So I understood what he was saying. I didn't agree with it. Like, bro, you could have did better with your money, man. You could have did stocks, bonds, annuities, all kind of other stuff with it. But man, but I just think the Kuminga deal is not different. It is different from a lot of the other things that went on. Like we talk about taking money and stuff like that. Bruh, they bullied that dude up and taking that contract.
I think he saw $24 million a year, and he instantly said, "Okay." He fell for it, right? I think in particular when you throw lump sums of money in front of young cats like,
or they promised to get him up out of there.
Yeah, I think he was on his way out.
Team, if you take it, no. When he took that $24 million, it was like, okay, man. Well, look, man, we're gonna get you up out of here. In the trade.
I actually think it was the other way around. I think they oh man, we paying you $24 million. Oh, you gotta play me a little bit more than what you've been playing me. You just don't want $24 million sitting on the bench. Well,
but that's Steve Kerr, because nobody else would have nobody else making that kind of money sitting on the bench.
And then
that's either Steve Kerr or that's Mike Dunleavy.
Nah, that's Steve Kerr. And then now, like you said, his trade value's going.
Yeah, they tank the trade values. Like that's stupid.
Now the dude is gone for a year. And he had to work his butt off. But I always feel like karma is a great, equalizer to people who do crappy things to crappy people. Because guess who got hurt right before him? Jimmy Butler. Same thing. Torn ACL.
Bad juju, man. I keep telling y'all this, man. They got a lot of bad juju going on.
And guess what they had going for them? All roads had led to Giannis. All road led to Giannis for them. And not no more. Not no more. We'll move on to our next subject. This subject is interesting in many different ways. As you guys know, we've all been having a discussion about what does it take to get to the Super Bowl, and is it coaches, is it quarterbacks on a rookie deal? As you can see, we got these two guys, and both of them are coaches, one in their first year with New England and the other's second year as a head coach in general. And it begs to answer the question, which is more attainable moving forward? A young QB taking a team to a Super Bowl, or a new coach reaching the Super Bowl in a few years? I'll start with you, Coach Josh. What you think, man? Which one is
so? Let me get this up out of here. Mike Vrabel did good in his first year, right?
This is first year.
Yeah, with New England.
Yeah.
Maybe Gerard Mayo took them lumps and bumps for him so they could have this kind of year. Just want to put that up out there. Just want to put that up out there so we don't be like, oh, Vrabel, he's so great. Just like Mark Jackson.
I'm not
just like Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson with Steve Kerr. Yeah.
Or like John Gruden with Tony Dungy. Hey man, sometimes you got to get things. Now, I'm gonna tell you this. When we talking about offensive coordinators, I don't think Josh McDaniels is in that top tier of OCs, bro. So now he's a horrible head coach, but he know how to get a game plan and call plays. But I mean, man, we could go back and forth with this. Is it coaches? Is it players? Is it young QBs?
Yeah, I'm asking which is more attainable. Because as you can see, we have a guy who was a journeyman player, and he took his lumps, and now he's in the Super Bowl, but he's with a young head coach. And
that's good. And this is what I'm gonna say. They got some players on that team.
No, agreed.
And they got good coaching. And so you see where that leads to.
Then you got Mike.
And they have an affordable QB. He ain't making $70 million. So he's affordable. Then on the other side, you got New England. Hey man, you got a young QB. You got a solid defense. You got a bunch of young players. And then you got a veteran coach with them. Who knows how to handle that organization. I mean, did we think somebody else when Gerard Mayo got fired? Did we think somebody else was going to get that job? Like, he was like the favorite, like when the job came open. So, I think it's a mixture of both, man. Like, if you a good coach, bro, you can't win without good players, man. You can only go so far. And we done been to places, Marcus. I know me and you go to games. Especially watching, man, we could look at the Rockets right now and seeing how coaching makes a difference. How better players makes a difference. Young, better players.
So
man,
if you had to take one side, and you have to choose one side, is it the new coach reaching the Super Bowl, or is it the young QBs reaching the Super Bowl? Because we almost saw it last year with Jane Daniels.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I'm asking you, which one do you feel is more attainable? Is it the coaches?
Oh, the good coaching.
Okay.
The good coaching.
I can agree with that. And what about you, Jones? What you got on this? Is it the young QB on that rookie salary, or is it that new young coach coming in, coaching the team, giving a new voice?
Listen, it's only one answer to this. Only one answer. Coaching. It has to be coaching. I mean, I agree with Coach. You like to have both, right? But if you're pinning us down and you're asking us, will we rather have the coach or will we rather have the quarterback? Well, listen, we see some teams right now, right, that have great quarterbacks, the Ravens, right? Joe Burrow, right?
Josh Allen.
But, well, I'm talking about cats that didn't even make the playoffs. You know what I mean? And they're MVP quality quarterbacks, right? But if you can't get the coaches to get the rest of the players around him to play well, then you're just you have a superstar player, that won't go anywhere, right? So you have to have the coaches to be able to coach up the rest of the team, the other 52 players, the other 51 players around that great quarterback to have a chance, right? So you can have Joe Burrow, you can go out there throw for 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, but
miss the playoffs
and miss the playoffs, right? You got two, young or two new head coaches right now that came in, changed the culture. And to your point, Coach, Mayo probably got fired because Vrabel was ready to come back and coach. You don't think he wasn't in contact with Mr. Kraft and was like, "Hey, I'm done."
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
I'm done with the Browns. So, whenever you're ready, just let me know.
He only came back when he saw the pick, and then he knew he was going to get a quarterback worthwhile. That's the only reason he came back.
Drake May was already on the team.
Oh yeah, you're right. My bad.
Yeah, Drake May was already on the team, so he was
I'm sorry. He saw that the young kid was worth something, and then that's when he came back. Also, they did something they never do, which was spend a ton of money in free agency.
So I think that was already a foregone conclusion. I think Mayo got fired because Vrabel was ready to come back and coach, right? He was like, you know what, let me go ahead and take a year off. I'm going to be a consultant to the Browns. Okay, I'm done. And the Browns probably was so bad. He was like, listen, I'm ready to go ahead and coach again. So go ahead and pull the trigger. I'm ready to, whenever you're ready. And Mr. Kraft was like, okay. And he was like, Gerard, I appreciate you, but we're going to go ahead and release you. And then, he brought him in, and here we are. They, like I said, earlier, they went from zero to hero, right? And they don't do that with a bad coach. I'll tell you that.
Do you think Clint Kubiak ends up in either Vegas or Cleveland?
Vegas.
Think so?
Yeah, Jim Schwartz probably got that job in Cleveland. They just had to go through that Rooney Rule stuff.
I'm gonna give my take, and my take is simple. If you do your due diligence as an organization and you put the pieces in place, the receivers, the running back, beef up your defense, and I'm gonna just give a prime example of Seattle. All Seattle missing was a quarterback worthwhile. Am I correct? Am I correct? I'm asking. We just needed. I'm asking a simple question. All they needed was a quarterback worthwhile. Am I correct? They had everything else in place. The receivers was already there. The defense was already nasty. They just needed, because this is Mike McDonald's second year. He had what, Geno Smith the year before. We saw what that.
But Geno was for Pete Carroll though.
Yeah. That's why Pete Carroll called, and they went a different route. But I'm saying, I believe if they would have got one of those young cats, a Drake May or somebody, or Caleb Williams or anything of that nature, that they would have been still in this position, because they did everything else in the organization and just needed that one piece. Like you said, he's on a team-friendly deal. He's not making the 65 million as a great quarterback would make, which means you potentially take away from from your defense and your other offense weapons. So let's take a look at Drake May, for instance. 2 years come along, it's time for that extension. You don't think that extension gonna be worth 50, 60 million?
Oh, they gonna give it to him just because he's making the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
but
what I'm saying
we gonna really see how good he is next year.
But I'm also saying too, that's going to take away from you signing everybody that you signed like you did last year, picking up those free agents. So in me, I think it's more attainable having a young QB with the small salary and I'm gonna tell you another team to look out for next year. Well, not look out for. I think they're going to take another step when they add pieces, and that's the Panthers. They still on that young deal. I think they are. I like what they put out there, but
I think this year was the Panthers ceiling. I think it's all downhill from here.
Panthers sneaked in, man. If the Tampa Bay Buccaneers don't have all them injuries, bro, man, they don't make it to the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, but here's the thing too, because he brought up Sam Darnold. It wasn't until he got with a good coach that he started to turn things around, right? With Kyle Shanahan. Then he went to Minnesota, and then he was able to leapfrog that with another good coach. And then he got lucky to go to Seattle with another good coach. Now, listen, if and hear me out. If Sam Darnold went to Cleveland after he left the 49ers,
he'd be done.
He would have been out of the league already.
Speaking of that, good transition, my guy. Good transition, because we're about to transition to something I want to get to. Speaking of Cleveland, and we'll come back to the other topic. You guys know, coaches have been quietly dismissing going to the Browns and being the head coach. We're going to talk to the resident Browns fans first. And see what he has on his repertoire for why this is happening to his hometown team. Major question: what's driving coaches away from wanting to coach in Cleveland? And be honest, man. I want to hear this. Go ahead.
Oh no, listen. I'd always try to have an unbiased opinion about the Cleveland Browns, because I want to make sure that I'm not hyping myself up too much and having greater expectations for the Cleveland Browns when the season starts, right? Even though I'm still upset every week when they lose, but at least I know why they're losing, if that makes sense, right? So the answer is simple and complex all in one, right? So the Cleveland Browns are acting like this is a corporate job where the talent pool is so vast that people need a job, right? And they have a month and a half to vet people, to go through a process, to give them a personality test. So what the Browns are doing right now, they got these coaches taking personality tests, they got them taking tests, whatever tests, written tests, essays. Like, what are we doing? They got them like, so they come in for the interview, and at the interview they got homework to do. Homework. So listen. So say Mike T didn't step away, he got fired, and he was someone who could have been interested in the Browns job. Mike Tomlin is not about to do no homework. He ain't taking no tests. He gonna show up for the interview, and if you like what I got, you like what I got. But all that other stuff, I'm not doing that. What's and you got me forgetting now. What's the coach McDermott? McDermott's not taking no test.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I laugh.
What are we talking about?
Because you're seriously angry.
So here's the thing, right? So say we're in the corporate world, and you're highly qualified, right? You got 2 to 3 master's degree, maybe you even got a doctorate, right?
Doing the same thing they're asking you to do.
Doing the same. And I'm coming from another company, right? Yeah. I got 10, 12 years experience, right? You know, I've handled millions of dollars and within my portfolio. Matter of fact, someone you know recommended that you reach out to me for the job.
You call me.
Right.
And then you bring me in and you say, listen, we got a 2-month process. We want you to take this personality test. We want you to do this homework. Listen, I got 5 other offers. I'm not about to do none of that. I'm not doing any of that.
Mike, what's his name? Mike McDaniel said, nah, bro, I'll just go be an OC. That's crazy. And like, I think he would have helped them with the way he uses his formations and
I think he would have been a great asset for Shedeur Sanders if they're going to keep him, right? Yeah. I think Mike McDaniel would have been able to get the most out of Shedeur from an offensive standpoint, right? Being creative and all of that other stuff to really see if he's going to be the quarterback of the future, or if we need to draft one. But other NFL teams, I know they have different processes, but it's not like that. And NFL teams, if you know you got a hot head coach, right? So let's just say Sean McDermott, right? And say that he is interested in coming and coaching for the Browns, right? You bring him in for the interview. You don't listen, Sean, we like you. We like what you did in Buffalo. We see what you do with young quarterbacks, young players. We want you to do that here in our organization. What's the number?
Exactly.
Right? It's not, hey, we like what you're doing. We got this. Hey, you see this right here? We got the strengths and weaknesses test, right? We want you to fill that out. And then once you fill that out, you hit submit. And we got, a 3-paragraph essay we want you to write. And then you hit submit again, and you got some homework. And then we'll see you back. Yeah, and then we'll see you back in a month and a half. And we'll tell you if you got the job or not. No.
Coach Josh, what you got on this topic, man?
To me, that's all smoke and mirrors for who they really want.
Which is who? I mean, throw that out there. Who do they want?
Or do Schwartz. Bro, let me tell you something, man. This Rooney Rule, that's supposed to open up the box of other candidates that normally don't get a chance.
Yeah, the Mike Tomlins of the world.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say this: the Rooney Rule has turned into, well, we got to just interview these people in person.
Yeah, let me hire.
It's not a legit process, but we know that though. Like I'm gonna tell you, why is Kelvin Shepard not part of this Rooney Rule process?
I thought he was down in. I thought he was down in Miami.
Who?
I thought he interviewed down in Miami.
Oh, Shepard.
Yeah, I think
he might have. You might be right about that. But he should have been on everybody open list. Everybody had an opening for a coach. He should have been on the list. I just saw the Buffalo Bills do smoke and mirrors with Joe Brady. Joe Brady was getting into it with Josh Allen. He wants to change. He wants to do this. And guess who the Bills hired?
Joe Brady.
Joe Brady.
I'm let you guys know that's gonna be a failure, but that's no here nor there.
I believe so too. But Steel Chase, the dude that's from the Rams, right?
Yes.
Man, that's smoke. Man, nobody giving that dude no job, bro. Do you know who the third candidate is that's up for the job?
Who?
Todd Moken. Man, come on, man. You could have at least had Brian Daboll in there or something. We could have,
Let me ask you the question.
What's the driving force?
What's driving these? Let me give you my input, and I know y'all not gonna like what I'm saying.
It's smoke and mirrors, bro. I don't think nobody they did all that nonsense just to throw everybody off, and people really look at
75% of it is the organization. The same things y'all both been saying with how they want to operate is exactly correct. Who in the hell wants to take a test? I don't, and and what Signetti said, and what Deion Sanders said, and what Marshall Faulk said. Google me. right? Google me. You know what I do. You know what I'm bringing to the table.
Okay, so let me ask you this question, Marcus. Me just going through a whole interview process and all this stuff, and bro, at this day and age, bro, man, we old enough to know now who getting the job before we even go to the interview. Things get out.
No, the same thing that's what happened in New England. Well, that happened with the Giants, Brian Daboll, and he called the wrong Brian, and Brian had never interviewed yet.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, so here's the thing though with the Browns, because I would agree with you, right? But it's a long, drawn out, and elongated process, right? While other teams are filling vacancies, the Browns are still going. No, so you see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I would agree with you with smoke and mirrors if we weren't missing opportunity, right?
Here's what I say. Give me a little bit. I just want.
Go ahead.
75% of it is the organization. You got 15% that's the roster. Roster doesn't look very good. Let's be honest. There's no number one receiver. Your best receiving person is a rookie tight end. You don't have a running back anymore. Your quarterback situation is: are you going with the young guy? Or are you going with Watson? Like, you're tied up in money with Watson, and the other 5% is Shedeur Sanders. Do you want to come in and say, "Hey, I'm going to change him," or "I don't want him as my quarterback"? And then what happens? Because he's invested enough in the franchise to where he has a calling and a fan base where if you come in and you automatically do that, you're going to get some backlash, right?
Well,
if you come in,
listen, yeah. So with Shedeur Sanders, man,
no, he's only a 5%, bro. That's why he only got 5%. 75% is
yeah,
the organization.
But what I'm going to say about Shedeur Sanders, so with the coach, I mean, because it's all valid points, right? And you're talking about, okay, I'm about to be the next head coach of the Cleveland Browns. I need to know, one, what you will and will not allow me to do with the quarterback situation, right? Exactly. Am I going to have to keep both of these guys? What can I do? What can I not do, right? And then as a new head coach, right? If the organization is saying, okay, listen, we're gonna go with Shedeur Sanders, right? We want to see what you can get out of him. Okay, that's one conversation. If you're not gonna start him, then you need to trade him.
Hey, look, man, I'm just saying, I understand exactly what y'all saying. What I'm saying is, I believe these are all the driving forces that are keeping guys.
I'm agreeing with you.
Coach in Cleveland.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Let's wrap this up with one of our last, and this is something very simple. You guys know there's been heavy talks about if they're going to expand the college football playoff to 24 teams. Unfortunately, not this year. They're not going to, and it begs the question: do you guys want to see it expanded to 24 teams? And if so, give me your reasons why. Because Josh, what do you think?
I say expand it, man. Make people watch. Like, man, we starting to realize now that a lot of these bowl games is just for money. But I mean, some of us have alma maters and special schools that we like or special players. So, man, I understand it. But, man, let's go ahead on and expand it. Hell. I mean, man, what is going to hurt? I mean, man, we still going to have the bowl games.
Agreed.
So you just make those games that's in the playoffs, you just make them the bowl game of that. So
agreed. Agreed. And it brings a lot more money to the conference.
And I kind of liked how they did it this year. Like for the first round.
Yeah. Well, the first round,
like they played these games at home.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good. Like, man, you gonna get people like, bro. There's some people at that first game between James Madison. Oh no, not James Madison. Tulane and Ole Miss, bro. Man, they had a lot of people.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, man, don't expand it.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. What about you, Jones? You feel we should expand to 24 teams? It looks like it's inevitable, just to let you guys know. This year they knocked it down and said no. But they're saying in the next 2 years or so, it looks like it's going to be 24. What you think about expanding it to 24?
Why wait? Just go ahead and do it. And we won't have to have these silly conversations about what team should have been in, and this team deserved to be in, and we can get rid of all of that nonsense, and you can go ahead and put in all the playoff worthy teams into the equation, right? And then you can, like the Joker said, break the pool stick and let the best man come out on top. So,
and what's crazy? If you go look at Division 2 and Division 3, they run, guess what? 24-man football playoff. Crazy.
Well, you got to look at it too. I mean, I think you have to do it, right? Because I mean, how many college teams do you have? Opposed to the NFL where you only have 30. Yeah.
Man, you got a bunch.
Opposed to what you have in the NFL, right? You got 32 teams, right? And that system works for a 32 team system, right? But when you're talking about over 300 teams, you have to do something a little bit outside the box, right? And like I said, it gets rid of those them silly conversations about who should be in and who should not. So
agreed.
Do yourself a favor.
And I'm with you guys. I kind of want to see it expand to 24. As you can see, Ole Miss showed you that. Well, not Ole Miss. Miami showed you that if you get in at the end, you could potentially roll the dice and take it all away. They fell short in a heck of a game, but it showed you. And remember, we was asking if it's Notre Dame, is it Texas, is it Miami, who's gonna take that? And honestly, I thought they got it right with Miami, and look what Miami did. If Carson Beck didn't do Carson Beck things, they might just be having a championship, and the U is back, baby. You know what I'm saying? But that's no here nor there.
And about Carson Beck, real quick, I can't believe, people were talking about taking him number 1 overall. Like,
yeah.
Stop.
What they number 1 and what the 5th
They
round?
thought he was gonna have a resurgence from them Georgia years, man.
Yeah.
So you remember how I brought up the Panthers and I said, this was their best year and they're about to go downhill? Okay.
Well, guys, this has been a great episode. We do want to give you guys a little bit of insight. We are now going to move to Thursdays at 9:00. So be looking forward to that. That's going to start next week. We are going to be moving to Thursdays at 9:00. So you'll see us more. Basketball season's coming up. Super Bowl is going to be on our radar. Guys, be looking out for things. You guys got anything you want to say to the chat?
Yeah. Mike Tomlin is a Hall of Famer.
We'll get to that too. Coach Josh, anything to the chat, man?
Man, y'all have a great night, man. And keep watching sports, man, so we could talk about this every week.
Like you said, keep watching. Remember, there's always 2 sides to an opinion. This is our podcast. You have a great one. We out.